We cannot forget those who've died, and more importantly, the underlying reasons for their deaths, including homophobia, transphobia, non-belonging, and disproportionate healthcare for Black and people of color. Thank you, Lisette, for your welcome and for these key notices. Our first speaker this morning is a young man who's already working to address mental health among his communities. Community members, let us welcome Gage Perley, who is a member of the Wolastoquiyik and Mi'kmaq from the Tobique First Nation of Neqotkuk in New Brunswick, Canada. Community members, Gage.
Good morning, everybody. I apologize for the premature introduction. My name is Gage Perley. I am a Wolastoquiyik and Mi'kmaq from Tobique First Nation, and I am coming to you live from New Brunswick, Canada on my traditional Wolastoquiyik territory. And today I'm going to talk to you about an organization I volunteer my time with called We Matter. And We Matter is an Indigenous youth-led, nationally registered organization that is dedicated to support life, promotion, and hope. So we started as a national multimedia campaign here in Canada a few years back, and we started because the suicide rates for Indigenous youth in Canada are several times higher than the non-Indigenous population. So I got involved with We Matter through a chance meeting with one of the founders. And at the time, I was struggling with my mental health. I was struggling with my sexuality, and I felt as though I didn't have a true sense of community, and it was a very dark period in my time. And because of that, I was feeling very lost, and I just so happened to meet the one of the two founders at a conference. She was actually speaking at the youth part where I was attending the adult part of the conference. They were the same, but two separate, if that makes sense. And then she told me about what We Matter was, and I decided that I wanted to get involved. But instead of just rambling on about what We Matter is, how about I show you?
Better.
Okay.
What is We Matter? Depression, addiction, suicide, pain, and sadness are things that many of us have to deal with.
We Matter is a national and Indigenous and youth-led organization that supports Indigenous youth going through these issues using social media, videos, resources, hope, culture, and love.
The We Matter campaign is our main project. It's super simple and everyone can be a part of it. People from across the country submit short videos, 1 to 2 to 3 minutes long, speaking right to camera, right to Indigenous youth who may be struggling or feeling alone, sharing their own stories and words of support.
There's messages from NHL hockey players.
You're not alone.
Musicians.
Never doubt yourself.
Politicians.
You matter to your community.
Indigenous and non-Indigenous.
You matter. We need you.
Elders.
We do care and love you.
Comedians. Community members. Fishermen. Allies. And amazing, amazing young people.
You matter. Don't ever give up. There is help out there.
When we stand together, we are stronger.
Stay strong.
Together we are stronger. Stay positive when the time gets tough.
Just know you're beautiful, you're unique.
We believe in you.
The campaign launched in October 2016, and we've reached millions of people online since.
These messages are powerful. You can watch them on our website. They'll lift you up if you're feeling down. And we know this because they help us when we're feeling down. You'll also find inspiring art, poems, and stories.
You can help out too. You can share and like people's video messages on social media, share art and stories, and comment.
You can also make your own We Matter message. Film a video speaking right to camera.
I love each and every one of you. Much love from my heart and respect.
Create an artwork or write a song, story, or poem, and send it to us at wemattercampaign.org.
We know what it's like to feel dark and alone. We also know how good it feels to have others want to help and support you. If you're feeling down, trust us. There are so many people who care about you.
You matter. Whatever you're going through, it's only temporary.
Watch the videos, add your own, and share. Share this video and as many of the messages of hope as you can.
Always remember, you are amazing. You are amazing. You are amazing.
I matter, you matter, we matter.
I matter, you matter, we matter.
You matter. I matter. We matter.
Merci, Cho. Thanks so much.
Okay, so that is basically the foundation of what We Matter is. And my role in We Matter is I am a national ambassador of hope. So I am one of the 2 in New Brunswick. And what we do is we go to Indigenous communities and non-Indigenous communities, and we promote hope, culture, and strength. And we target middle school to high school mostly. And basically, we just want to show young Indigenous people that they matter. And it's very powerful because here in Canada, we are very segregated and often made to be ashamed of who we are as Indigenous people. And I felt that growing up in a small reserve as an Indigenous Two-Spirit person, I felt extra segregated because of that. And I just want Indigenous and non-Indigenous youth to know that there is at least one person who cares. And we offer a different variety of services along with the public speaking aspect of it. We also have toolkits for different sectors. So the toolkits, the point is to help people handle crises and help with crises and mental health and all of that. Each one has a different target demographics. So there's a toolkit for community leaders, there's a toolkit for youth, there's a toolkit for teachers, and it's basically to educate these Indigenous and non-Indigenous people on mental health, how to handle it, and how to help others with that. And I'm going to go show everybody the website really quick. Does everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So this is the We Matter website, and on it you see a lot of information here. You have the different types of toolkits, and then there's activities, so more information on the Ambassadors of Hope and the Hope Pact and the COVID-19 Support Fund. And at the campaign, you'll see videos. And with the videos, they're all categorized by different communities, which you'll see in challenges and people. And you'll see all these different categories. So there's a lot of support with We Matter, and trying to find this. And with oh, here's some more categories. And you don't have to make a video either. You can also submit your art. Some people submit art, some people submit poems and music as well. So it's very easy to get involved with We Matter if you are interested. We do have, while we're based in Canada, we also do have a international audience as well. So you don't have to be specifically in Canada to upload a We Matter video. And speaking of videos, I have another one for you.
What is
my apologies. No, that's not it. No. Okay.
If you're feeling sad, angry, or hurt, what are some things that you do for yourself?
When I'm feeling down or sad, I usually talk to a friend about it.
I would listen to music or relax.
I like to play video games.
I make sure I give myself some time away from everyone and I take care of myself. Like I'll cook food for myself and I enjoy that.
Read a book, watch a movie.
Write as much poetry as I can.
I think of my two nieces, Mary Jane and Rhea. I think of them in my head over and over again.
I'll play basketball when I'm mad because it'll cool me down, cool me off.
I normally go on YouTube and watch funny videos.
Calling a helpline would be really good.
Well, traditional dancing helps me get rid of like stress and my low mood.
I think crying is really important because just to get that emotion out of you.
Punch a pillow or
sometimes I smudge. When I don't feel well, I'll talk to like my dad, my brothers.
If your friend is feeling sad, angry, or hurt, what can you do for them?
I could let them know that I am there for them and they have someone to talk to. I mean, maybe I'll take them out to eat. People like that.
I tell them that it's okay to feel how they feel.
Well, I just try to take their mind off of it. So maybe we'll go to the beach or go swimming.
Yeah, just like going for a walk mostly. Just like that tends to help a lot.
I tell them like, oh, this helps me. Like maybe you could try this and I'll be with you.
And make sure not to force them to open up, but just make sure that they know that you're there for them. Or if they need a shoulder to cry on, I'll be by their side. If you can't resolve it yourself, you should go to an adult and talk to them and tell them what has happened.
Did you know that Facebook has a feature where if you see a friend post something, you think that they might be at risk to hurt themselves, you can actually flag that post. That friend will get sent resources and things that might be able to help them. And you will also get sent some resources on how you might be able to help.
No, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. It's a good thing to know, you know.
Even though they probably don't think they need the help, like they'll get like at least a notification.
Sometimes I see some things that like I don't know if they should be posting or if it's like healthy for them to post.
I actually had someone flag me once. It was my own auntie. I know it's helped me multiple times.
Why is it important for us to look out for each other?
Yeah, because when I help my friends, it feels good.
Having that support makes you, not just you, but all of you stronger and have a bond.
Because everybody needs someone, if they know it or not at the moment. If you need help, go get some help, and if you can't, I'll come along with you.
If you're feeling sad, you could talk to me or like anyone you know.
I really encourage you to reach out to someone if you are hurting very badly. talk to someone, even sitting on the phone with someone.
No matter how hard things get, there's always a way forward.
You're awesome. Cool. I love you.
And for me, it just warms my heart to see so much Indigenous youth acknowledge their past traumas and be there for other Indigenous people. Because for the longest time in history, Indigenous people in Canada were often taught to not acknowledge their feelings and seek the right help. We didn't have access to that help, and it was very hush hush. And because of that, people would cope with drugs and alcohol. And I can personally relate to that. I've had family members cope with drugs and alcohol, and it becomes a cycle, and that intergenerational trauma traumatizes the next generation after them. So if somebody faces abuse, then they will also receive it, and you have to break the cycle. And that's what a lot of Indigenous youth are doing now in Canada, and just makes me proud. And I have another video from an Indigenous youth as well, sharing their experiences with mental health.
Hi, my name is Sidonia Okina, and I'm from Wolastoquiyik, and I'm 17 years old, and I have cerebral palsy. So it's been a tough life. Like, I've been bullied a lot in life, and I am graduating this year, but I wouldn't be graduating if I didn't make some sacrifices. Like, I remember back when in grade 7, I was having a really difficult time with fitting in and getting along. I would go crying home every day until I finally got what was inside of me out. I finally decided to tell someone about how I felt, and it made me feel better. It made me motivated to finish school, and now here I am in grade 12, finishing off high school, and I feel really proud of myself. Like, there was times where they were really hard, but I kept telling myself that I can do it. And look where it got me. Right here. My message to you guys is, like, if you're having a tough time with school or anything in life, there's always hope for tomorrow. Like, don't give up. Like, even though you're giving up, like, you're almost at that point where you fell off the edge. You wouldn't fall off. You just gotta find a way to get back up there and show the world how amazing you are, because you all matter.
Okay, that was perfect. That was good, right?
Another powerful message from a disabled Indigenous youth, which have a much more extra hard time because they face so much segregation within the Indigenous community and very cruel treatment. So I have one more video to show you. This is, or no, I have two more videos, sorry. This next video is by Ashley Collingbull. She is an actress that is, that also won Miss Universe. She is the first Indigenous woman to win the title. And she is a big inspiration to myself and many other Indigenous people in Canada.
Hi, my name is Ashley Collingbull, and I'm from the Neqotkuk Nation in Alberta. Some of the good things that have happened for me were that I was on a Gemini award-winning series called Blackstone. I was the first Native woman to become Miss Canada, and I was also the first Native and Canadian to become Mrs. Universe. And I'm also a spokesperson for Nike N7 organization. So these things that have happened to me and for me are things that I worked really hard for, but a lot of people don't know about the hardship that it took for me to get there. Growing up, I actually lived through poverty and through a lot of abuse and a lot of racism and bullying. And every day I've always wondered if I would make it to the next day because I was so insecure and I did not love myself at all. And there were a lot of times where I wanted to end my life, but I thought that's not worth it because who knows what potential I have within myself and who knows who I can become. Why waste my life and my opportunities because of what someone else has to say about me? And it's been a long road to get where I am and to find the success that I have, but it was my culture that saved my life. It was the strength and resiliency within my culture that gave me that resiliency to move forward and to really love and appreciate my self-worth. And that's what made me really strong. And staying away from the negativities in life, like drugs and alcohol, it really kept me on the right path in life, and it made me so strong. And now I feel like I'm the person I'm meant to be. If you're out there and you're feeling alone and you feel like there's no one that's going through what you're going through, there is someone that's going through the exact same thing. And there's always someone out there that's willing to listen to you and that does genuinely care. I feel that if you bottle these emotions up, it can only do negative things for you. It's important to heal by talking about what you're going through, or you can heal through arts. You can heal through acting, through sports, through community events. There's so many ways that you can heal, and there's always someone willing to listen. And I think that it's not a great thing to waste your life and waste your passions and waste the gifts that the Creator gave you, because if you push for happiness, if you find your true self and you learn to let go and love and appreciate yourself for the way you are, you will become the strong person you're meant to be.
Ashley brings up a good point too in finding that connection to your culture. That, speaking about myself a little bit, I grew up in a small reserve in rural New Brunswick, Canada, and because of that, I faced a lot of hardships, and one of them was homophobia and harassment because of that. I also deal with depression and very crippling anxiety. And in the past too, I have also had several eating disorders and self-doubt. So finding, getting in touch with my culture, I didn't get in touch with my own culture until I started my undergrad. And through that, I started rediscovering myself. And because of that, I found a new sense of self-worth in getting in touch with my Wolastoquiyik and Mi'kmaq culture. And it's very liberating and empowering that I am able to do this, because it was illegal in Canada to even speak or practice your culture. And it wasn't until I'd say the 70s that we were even allowed to vote. So it's amazing that I am able to get in touch with that side of me that was so suppressed by residential schools and the Indian day school system, and be able to practice what my ancestors weren't allowed to practice. And at We Matter, that's what we celebrate, is our own different cultures. As no group of Indigenous people are the same. Like a Wolastoquiyik and Mi'kmaq, they are not the same as, say, a Haida. We are a very unique culture, and that's what I love about We Matter as well. We have youth all over Canada showing their own cultures and their own experiences. It's very amazing to connect with Indigenous youth through that. So I got a notification that I have 10 minutes left, so I want to share one more video before I go into the Q&A.
Hey everyone, my name is Levi Marshall. I'm 19 years old from the reserve of Membertou First Nation. However, I'm now living in the big city of Toronto, Ontario. I'm here at Ryerson University studying film production and journalism. This has been my dream since I was in, grade 7, grade 6. I was 12, 13 years old, and I said, I want to go to Toronto and I want to study film school. Other than, chasing this dream, what I like to do most is be involved in my community, in my school, and as much as possible. So I joined as many clubs as I could. I got involved in high school. I was the mascot. Then in grade 12, I was elected president. And I really just wanted, to spread the positivity that I have. I wanted to give up my energy. I felt like that was something that I was really good at. I'm the type of person that likes to motivate others. And I think the reason why I'm like this is because of the hardships that I've had to go through, and that many of us as First Nations, Indigenous people in Canada have had to endure. One of those things that I wish I could have gathered the strength to do a lot earlier in my life is come out as gay. I'm a proud member of the LGBTQ2S plus community. And it wasn't until a year ago when I was 18 years old that I actually, looked in the mirror and I said to myself, this is who I am. I have to accept it because this is who I am, and this is how the Creator made me. And I have to love it. And I did it for a very long time. I remember there'd be nights when I'd be sleeping in my bed and I just look up, close my eyes, and I'd just lay there for a really long time and just stay awake, just thinking about how much I really didn't like my life. And I think the worst part about it is that other people knew that I was gay before I even did. I didn't even know what it was until I was like 13, 14. And already people were, picking on me or whatever. First and foremost, for those of you who may be questioning yourself, or who maybe just feeling like they're getting picked on at school, who feel different, I want you to know that you're different for a reason. You are different because you are a leader and because you're special. Leaders are not like the people around them. You have a special thing that sets you aside from everybody else, and that's your talent. And, for a long time I was really positive, and a lot of people saw me as a really happy person, but deep down I wasn't. And the sooner you come to terms with it, and the sooner you can look at yourself in the mirror and accept who you are, the sooner you're going to be more happy with life. And I promise you that. I promise you'll be way more happy. And even if you have people in your life who do not accept you, find people who do and hang on to them, because they are really important people. And for me, another way I kept motivated is because I did have bullies and I did have people in my life who did hurt me. You can do whatever you want with my physical body, but you are not going to hurt what's in here. And this is my heart, and this is my spirit. And you can't take that away from me. You can't harm it. And no matter what you do to me, what's inside is untouchable. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching my #WeMatter video. If you felt like you couldn't connect to the story, go and check out some of the other We Matter videos on their website. I'm sure there's something that will resonate with you or that you can connect with. Well, Alan, thank you for watching my video again. I'll see you later.
that video connected with me a lot because actually Levi is a part of the Mi'kmaq Nation, which I am also part of, so that hit very close to home. And that concludes the presentation half. So next is the Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or just ask away.
So we've got one person saying, thank you very much for sharing the story, Gage. It's very inspirational. So how do you as a Native American and Indigenous member of a tribe, how did your elders and your parents and others in your communities accept you, or what struggles did you have in the Native American community to be accepted?
I'm lucky that my family is a very open-minded family, and when it came to coming out, like, it was very easy for me, and I'm very fortunate in that aspect. In regards to the community, I think everybody kind of knew before I knew. And it was much more harder to, I guess, it was more hard for, I guess, my generation because there is the internalized homophobia, and I had to just stop paying attention to what people thought about me and think for myself and not care what they did, like what they thought of me. You know, I just realized that those people are probably insecure and they're taking out their insecurities on me, and you know, that's their business. Like, I gotta do what's right for me, and that's why that I just started trusting my gut and trusting my own perception of myself, because I spend 24 hours a day with myself, so I need to uplift myself all the time because of that, and that's how I've dealt with it.
Thank you. I have one question here. How can we get a list of all support programs you are part of that students can access out of Canada and globally?
That's a good question. I don't really know, but I can talk to Chelsea, who is the head of the We Matter Ambassadors of Hope program. And Chelsea would have much more resources that I can share with you, Antoine, and maybe you could send an email out to the participants after the conference, if it's possible.
Yes, thank you. That would actually be really good, because one of the things that we are going to include on our website is a list of resources for mental health services, not just in the New York region or the United States, but around the world. So we are in the process of compiling that. So that would be good to include that kind of resource on our website. I've just got another comment from one of your Indigenous siblings. Marcy is saying, you did an amazing job, Gage, and I'm incredibly proud of you, sibling. In America, Mexico, down to South America, many Indigenous peoples have been taught to be ashamed of ourselves. How long did it take you to feel brave enough to assert yourself? This is a message that is important for Indigenous youth.
It took me till my first year of university. I did grow up knowing about the culture, and my grandparents are medicine people, so I'm fortunate that I did have that support and foundation with my culture. As some elders, they have been very brainwashed by the church, the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church has really had a stronghold on Indigenous communities, and it has influenced how the older generation has thought. So I started in a bridging year program at the University of New Brunswick, and there was 2 Indigenous studies courses, and through that I got the basic info. And when I switched schools to St. Thomas University, I decided to do double major in Indigenous studies and criminology. And for my Indigenous studies major, we got to learn about not just Indigenous people all over Canada and the United States, but my own Wolastoquiyik and Mi'kmaq culture, here in the East Coast. And seeing how rich my culture was just inspired me, seeing all the designs and just seeing how unique we are and our regalia. It just, inspired me to explore that side of me, that Canada has tried to repress from the rest of us. So that's how I got the strength to do it. And a lot of elders from my community actually teach at my university. So there was that community connection as well. Actually, the founder of the program I graduated from was my neighbor growing up. And I also have an aunt and uncle that are heads of the department at the University of New Brunswick, and they're very well respected elders in New Brunswick. So having surrounded myself with the elders and just having, conversations and just spending time with them really helped.
Thank you, Gage, so much, and for sharing that part of your life and some of the struggles, and really speaking to what this conference is about today, right? It's about resiliency, right? How do we bounce back from, generational trauma and other influences, or the erasure of culture? So I want to thank you so much for sharing that, for sharing these amazing videos, the voices and faces of young people. So there's something in the chat I want to share, and I think there's a couple of questions. So someone says, I don't have a question, but representation is very important. Thank you for being a part of an organization that's giving a voice to your community. Continue to create change, and that you are appreciated. That's a beautiful comment. And I think we can take this one last question, Gage, and then we'll have to move on with the program. What is something you wish that non-Indigenous people would do to support Indigenous folks or communities?
Oh, there's a lot, but
yeah,
the big thing with that is let Indigenous people speak. And I don't think it's just, that's a statement for just Indigenous people, but Black people in the other minorities, oftentimes you'll see these non-Indigenous people or these non-minorities try to speak for us and try to gatekeep us to us. And who knows us better than us, and who knows our experience better than us? So just let's speak, let's have a voice, let's have the floor, and let's seat at the table.
Yeah, that's powerful. And I think, you said it correctly about other communities of color, and, making sure that there is representation, that people are invited to speak, that they're sitting at the table, and that, the stories are affirmed, the stories are not erased, and that there is continued representation across all cultures, all communities. So yeah, I think that's going to really resonate with everyone present today. And again, I want to thank you as a member of, the planning committee, because you know, we don't get to hear these stories, especially about, you know, Indigenous communities. And so this is so important to shed light on everything that was shared today. So we thank you so much. So if everyone could kind of put some applause in the corner of your screen and thank this amazing presenter today. This was phenomenal.
I want to thank you folks as well for the amazing opportunity.
Well, you're extremely welcome. And if you take a moment and you look at the chat, you'll get to see all of the claps and snaps, the thank yous, the appreciation, the welcome that you know, everyone is bringing to you in this virtual world, right? Because that's another thing. It's about filling this space with all the folks that are here today. So we applaud you, Gage, and the work that you're doing and all the young folks that you are working with. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisette. And once again, thank you very much, Gage.